The big guns, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, what makes them the ones that get TV shows made out of?
Because Jeffrey Dahmer was like a cannibal.
Yeah, it was awful.
And that Golden State guy used to phone them up after the...
I'm gonna kill you.
Okay, so that's really scary, right?
You're in the madhouse now.
Here we are, the Madhouse Chronicles. I am Billy
You're
Morrison.
Billy Morrison and I'm Ozzy Osbourne.
You are Ozzy Osbourne. You're going to enjoy both this episode and the next one because it's such a big thing for both of us. We divided it into two shows. True crime. So the first episode is all about serial killers.
Yeah.
And then the next episode we'll talk about all the other type of true crime. What was the first time you remember a serial killer case? I'll tell you, mine was the Moors murders.
They weren't so much serial. They did a couple of kids, and I think the Yorkshire Ripper was the...
Do you remember the Yorkshire Ripper?
Oh,
when
yeah.
were you a kid? Back then?
In
When
the
was that?
70s.
That was the Peter guy, Peter Sutcliffe.
Sutcliffe, yeah.
So,
But when I was a kid, there was a younger girl abducted from where I used to live, and the cops came round and searched everywhere. It was Cannock Chase murders. He did about 3 kids and
Cannock Chase.
murders.
Yeah.
He did about 3 or 4 kids.
There must be a statistic to make it a serial killer, probably more than one.
I think so.
So Ian, who was it? It was Ian Brady and Myra Hindley.
But they made such a big deal. I knew a cop, an ex-cop, that I used to drink with in my village. Scott, he was one of the guys that went on the moors.
Oh.
And he says, the moors is massive.
Ozzy, we stopped on tour. I was on tour in a little van, like back in the 80s, and we were right there. So we stopped. It was about 9 o'clock at night and walked out into the moors.
He said,
It's got a vibe.
he said what they would do to keep them going, they'd play them the tape of the little girl saying, "Can I see my mummy now?"
Oh my God. That's right. There was a tape of it, wasn't there? Because what I read when I was looking at the Moors murders, they actually argued, Myra Hindley and Ian Brady argued about who killed which one. And I think it ended up being Ian Brady was the complete psychopath. But when we're watching, like, because true crime is now big business on TV, when we're watching it, why are we watching it? What do you get out of
It's dark.
Yeah, which taps into, we all have some dark things going on.
I watch a lot of war stuff as well. I'm attracted.
Of course. Me too.
Not that I want to be a serial killer.
So that's it. When I watch it, I'm thinking, I have thoughts like, well, that was a stupid move. You shouldn't have put the knife there.
Well,
Like-
when the Yorkshire Ripper got caught, I thought, what a stupid he went for a pistol.
Yeah. So in some respect, we're watching it going, whoa, I could have done that better. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, the Green River Killer.
Oh, that's a good one. I think I've got that on the list. We're going to get there.
He would take them home sometimes and do them in his
Yeah.
head. He never left a fucking thing, a stitch of anything there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got him from DNA, which they got from the bodies.
But years later,
I mean, fucking
Yeah.
30 years later.
we're going to show a video about
and
the Green Killer.
BTK.
Well, so let's talk about BTK. So the guy was called Dennis Rader, and BTK was bind, torture, kill, right?
But he was a big head.
Well, so the case was completely cold. The case was
But
cold.
you know, they caught him from
Computer this.
computer.
There's a video from TikTok. I want to show it to you. Basically, I want to show it to you because it'll show our viewers exactly in a nutshell what the BTK case was. So the BTK killer, Dennis Rader, I watched this clip and I was shocked at how cold and matter of fact he was when he was in court.
What happened?
Well, anyway, I handcuffed her, had her lay on the bed, and then I tied her feet, and then I was also...
He's getting off.
To a certain degree.
How do you
down top
watch?
of her, and then I reached over. Took either her feet were tied or not tied. Anyway, I think I had a belt. I took the belt and then strangled her.
So I took the belt and I strangled her. It's like he's telling us what he had for lunch.
Yeah, but she's getting off on him.
So there is ego involved in this, right?
Yes, absolutely. As he's talking, he's reliving this.
And he's getting.
That's why they take souvenirs and.
It's so mind-boggling that the case was completely cold, and his ego made him send a computer disk to the media. That's how they caught him. But here's something interesting. There's another video. Now, the truth behind this, I was doing some research and I found this video. It's not him. It's artificial intelligence. It really tripped me out because the facts that this guy says are true. But watch this.
My name is Dennis Rader, also known as BTK, short for bind, torture, kill. My targets were often women and families, carefully selected and stalked. I would bind them, subject them to unimaginable torture, ultimately snuff out their lives using various methods like strangulation, suffocation, and other means.
All right, hang on.
People are sick fuckers. Remember
Yeah.
when the Yorkshire Ripper fucking was going? He was doing women all the time. And some guy sent a tape in and they got voice analysts. And I said, he comes from this part of the country. And he was fuck all to do with it.
So people want
because back then, they never had the computers. They had to do it all by hand. You know, they got like fucking 5,000 sets of fingerprints to go through. And they got to check them all. Now, you go and they press a button and it goes the match.
Oh, yeah. But think about what's the matter with someone if they're not the Yorkshire Ripper, but they're sending stuff in going, I'm the Yorkshire Ripper. No, I'm the Yorkshire Ripper.
It's just people are fucking weird, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have saved a couple of kids' lives, you know.
So
Because he comes from County Durham. They all went up there, you know.
right.
But he fucking took the. I think they caught the guy in the end.
The Yorkshire Ripper?
No, they caught the Yorkshire Ripper.
Oh, the guy that was a fake.
Oh,
really? That's, well, good.
This episode of the Madhouse Chronicles is brought to you by BetterHelp. So let's talk self-care non-negotiables. For me, it's always my morning coffee ritual. No matter how busy the day gets, that's my time to reset. Maybe for you, it's that weekly therapy session or hitting the gym. With everything going on, kids, work, life, it's easy to let these routines slip. But honestly, those are the things that keep us the most grounded. I've seen how therapy can be a real game changer, whether it's for learning to set boundaries or just having a safe space to talk things out. It's not just for the big stuff. Therapy can help you stay on top of your game, no matter what life throws your way. If you're thinking about therapy, BetterHelp is the place to start. It's all online, so it's so easy to fit into your schedule. Just answer a few questions, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if you need to switch, it's no big deal, no extra charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/madfam today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/madfam.
So, Ozzy, what do you think? Look, obviously, serial killing has become a huge business. Books, TVs, interviews. We've got some great interviews. Movies. What's the moral implication of making huge amounts of money off these? Are we glamorizing it?
People, okay. That Dennis Rader was a show-off killer. Because the way he talks about killing people.
Right.
As if it's less than fucking swatting a fly. You know, he fucked up people's families.
Oh,
know?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and he took time and pleasure. So when these people redo it, it's like that guy who raped all them gymnastic kids. And the one dad says to the judge, can I have 5 minutes with him?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But they're always, they get off on them being caught, you know.
But is it right for then networks and movie companies to make billions of dollars?
Sure, I mean, it's like people don't want to see something simple. I mean, if I said the other day, if somebody jumps off a building and it's splat on the floor, people want to look.
You know what? Let me play another clip. This clip is Jeffrey Dahmer from Inside Edition. He's wearing this weird military green thing, and his composure his composure in this clip shocks me. You watch as the camera zooms in on him.
He was saving body parts such as skulls and skeletons. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight.
Oh yeah, let's stop. So first of all, exactly the same kind of demeanor as.
Yeah, but you understand? They're reliving the thing.
But it's so
It's
cold.
like- it's
There's
like-
no emotion at all.
Yeah, but it's like they're not right. You know, it's like waiting for your drug dealer. It's like.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, but I'm having a problem with. Then they make Netflix made a huge TV show, Monster, and it was fantastic.
I couldn't watch it.
You couldn't?
I couldn't watch it.
Why?
Because it was too disturbing for me.
That's interesting. You can watch the real interviews, but a dramatized version of it. It was too.
But
too
when he was
sick.
starting to eat the fucking flesh,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
that's fucking off the
And
rip.
how do the victims' families feel?
I think that's disgraceful because if you had a brother, a daughter, a fucking child.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that woman when he went to court. She said, I fucking hate you, Jeffrey.
Yeah. And
But
yet,
you know, but he didn't last because some guy in there who'd already got like bent a fucking iron bar over his head.
100%.
But when he was in jail, apparently, he put ketchup on his fucking dinner. And
Dahmer.
yeah.
I mean, there was the Golden State Killer, right?
The Golden State Killer was a clever guy.
So the facts are 62 rapes, 13 murders. And when he went to court, he went, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
What else is he going to say? I'm glad I killed his fucking family.
But they all seem... Look, here's what I'm saying. The big guns, and also what makes a big gun? There's people who've killed way more people, but Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Joseph D'Angelo, what makes them the ones that get TV shows made out of them?
Because they fucking do gross things, and it was a big headline at the time.
Yeah, I guess the headlines.
I mean, if it was
make
like
it.
a man killed 13 people on the back page, nobody would fucking do it.
Well, so
Because Jeffrey Dahmer was like a cannibal.
oh yeah, it was awesome.
And
It was awful.
that fucking Golden Gate guy used to phone them up after this.
I'm gonna kill you.
Can you imagine that?
Okay, so that's really scary, right?
No, but he would do that. He would go and rape them, and then he would phone them up about a
and
month
tell
later.
him that he was going to kill him.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh my god!
Fucking freaked them out.
So,
But you're right. If someone made God forbid, none of that happens to one of my kids. But if something had happened to one of my
do
kids,
you want a TV show made out of it?
I would go fucking nuts.
That's my point. And yet, we are making serial killer movies all the time. Ozzy, I was talking about what makes the big guns the big guns. Something made me Google the most kills of a serial killer. So there was this guy.
What about that guy in England, the Dr.
Oh yeah,
Schmidtman?
yeah.
They don't know how many fucking people he killed.
There are the
There
ones
only
that
could
they
be
don't
like
know.
500 or 600 people.
But look, here's this guy, right? His name was Luis Garavito in Colombia, right? Known as the Beast. He killed 147 people. And he's not, they haven't made a movie about him.
No, it's not local. It's not in our country.
The fact that we even have...
Why haven't they done one over about the Yorkshire Ripper?
Oh, there has been. There has been movies about
Oh,
the
there?
Yorkshire Ripper. No, in England. I guess there might be a Colombian movie about him.
What if they did one about Jeffrey Dahmer in England?
I get your point. But the fact that we have a top 100 serial killer
But that's
list,
what we know of.
that's really scary.
They were the ones that we know. There's serial killers out there, I reckon, that we don't know.
Of course. Here's another one. So I want to get your thought on the punishment. So Javed Iqbal in Pakistan killed 100 children, right? He strangled them and cut their bodies into pieces and put them into acid. So the judge ruled death penalty. You're going to be strangled. You're going to hang. Then we're going to cut your body up into pieces and we're going to put all the pieces into acid in front of the parents of the kids.
That's a good...
Yeah, so you feel that punishment is
Well,
right.
Well, they didn't think that when they were doing the fucking kids.
Unfortunately, he died in police custody before that could actually happen. But that was the sentence to be.
Well, it's like eye for an eye.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole debate about.
Put yourself in the parents. It's always about the
100%.
serial killer. You don't go, oh, all these fucking 190 people that, they lost a child. Right. How the fuck do they feel?
And then they put psychologists onto the serial killers who start
fuck them if they
exactly.
If they find out, they should do what they did. They didn't return the fucking thing to them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. I love that sentence. It was brilliant. So what about unsolved cases like the Zodiac killer?
So I thought that just worked it out.
So I'll tell you what, let me play this video that was on TikTok because it explains everything about the Zodiac killer and the possible identity being revealed. Here you go.
The Zodiac killer's identity has finally been revealed. Based on new forensic evidence, they've announced that the real name of the Zodiac is Gary Francis Post. They linked Post to the killings through new evidence, including some from his own darkroom. Gary F. Post passed away in 2018, and he has yet to be confirmed as the Zodiac by law enforcement agencies overseeing the case.
All right, so first of all, it goes, the identity has been revealed, and then at the end, it says, this is yet to be confirmed, so who knows? But the thing with the Zodiac killer, if that guy was the Zodiac killer, he died at 80 years old, right? He lived his whole life with the knowledge of what he did. How do they go home after doing it?
Well, look at the BTK. He killed a family, then he didn't do it for fucking 5 years.
What does he do in those fight? Don't you? My mind goes, what does he go to the fair?
What he would do? Did you ever watch the program about him? And what he would do, he would just walk around and he'd go, "I'm going to do that family." So he would go and find when they come home. He'd sometimes go in and check the house out when they weren't there.
So it was a whole recon type situation.
He didn't just go, "Oh, I'm going to do that." He took his time in. The one family, he took the kids down the basement and hung them and fucking tortured them and things. But that's their drug.
But can you imagine
it must be the ultimate in power. And what was the other guy?
I think you're right. I think power is something to do with it. It must make them feel powerful.
It's like the ultimate power, I suppose.
Yeah. But how do you go back to living a life having just killed a family?
But most of them take a trophy or a fucking piece of their hair or a body part or something.
Yeah.
Or a fucking sort of reminder.
So what do you think? Did you ever watch the TV show Dexter?
Who?
Dexter.
I thought it was a load of shit.
So, but I did too. But Dexter was a hugely successful TV show about a serial killer.
Who was a cop?
Yeah.
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah. And yet, this brings me back to my point that it made that actor's career, right? Blew him up. It was huge.
I thought it was a load of old cobblers' ideas.
But he would take mementos.
He was Simon in every fucking week.
In the final segment of this show, I'm going to ask some questions, and I want to know what you feel. Do serial killers deserve any sympathy?
No.
Why?
They're fucking animals.
Okay, I happen to agree. So
did they get to give any sympathy to their victim?
None whatsoever. So then how can we trust the justice system if we stick psychologists and psychiatrists on them? And try and rationalise what they did.
If they've caught without any shadow of doubt, they should be fucking executed.
Yeah.
Fuck this keeping on.
But
you know what? In prison, if it's kids...
Oh, you're done.
You're done in no time.
You're absolutely done. What do you think about making serial killing cool? And what I mean by that is TV shows, movies, talking about Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy painted pictures in his cells.
Yeah.
Now his pictures are worth thousands of dollars if you can get
Yeah,
one.
but that's how sick the fucking world is. I mean, look at the Nazi memorabilia. You can,
That's another good point. So, is that okay to want a John Wayne Gacy painting in your house?
I don't know.
Would you have a serial killer's painting if you like the image?
It's kind of like
I wouldn't.
It's like saying, would you take a fucking shoe off someone being run over by a truck?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want that. I have friends who collect serial killer art, right?
Well, look at that.
I wouldn't want it. I
guy.
feel it's bad vibes.
He was a good artist as well. Suicide doctor was Dr. Kevorkian.
Oh, he's an artist?
Fucking major artist.
Really? I mean, there's a whole business.
What's his name?
Manson. I mean, there's Manson paintings out there.
What about that friend of yours?
Yeah, he has a couple. That's who I was referring to. And it you know, the cool factor of owning that serial killer's piece of art, I don't understand it.
Although I would never dream of doing it, it's something attractive to that dark side.
I think
And I
that's...
said to my wife, why do you think I like watching things about World War II? And she just said, because it's dark.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, as we come to the end of this show, what I've realized talking about this is, you just said it. I would never do it. I have no inclination to do it, but it taps into that dark shit that we've all got in our head. It's a safe way of watching
I
it.
wonder what it's like.
Yeah,
I wonder
exactly.
That Dennis Nielsen in England.
Oh, shit. That would have been a good one. Dennis Nielsen, yeah. I remember that.
He didn't give a fuck.
No.
He'd chop him up and burn him down the toilet.
I guess it's the same as watching a horror movie. It's fascination of shit that's not actually in our lives.
Because you know, so when you're in the pub and someone says, you know who he was, that guy used to sit next to you, and you go,
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah. Him? Oh, I never thought he'd do
And
it.
that other guy, what's his name? He electrocuted that guy over there. He escaped a few times. And what was his fucking name?
Who's that?
But Bundy.
Oh, Ted Bundy, yes.
He was fucking...
Yeah, he was a bad man. He was
used
a
to
bad man.
He used to rape him and kill him in front of somebody.
Yeah. Well, look, if you've enjoyed this episode of Madhouse Chronicles, next episode is more of the same. We're just talking about the rest of true crime. Ozzy, thank you. It's great. So that's it for this week's episode of the Madhouse Chronicles. Subscribe at osbornemediahouse.com for early access, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, limited edition merch, and much, much more, including the re-release of the iconic Osbourne's TV show. Don't miss out. Visit Osbourne Media House. We'll see you at the Madhouse.
There is no escape from the madhouse.
Discover more shows and exclusive series at osbornemediahouse.com.